With the Formula One season of 2025 approaching, all eyes turn to Ferrari during the pre-season tests in Bahrain. This period marks the beginning of teams and drivers preparing and defining their narratives for the coming year. Ferrari, now with its renewed model SF25, has been showing remarkable results in various scenarios, whether in fast lap simulations or in extended and challenging stretches of race pace. However, the moment that captured the most attention was Lewis Hamilton's smile. After several years of underwhelming results, the seven-time world champion appears satisfied with his new car, raising questions behind the scene. Can Ferrari really contend for the championship this season? And, more specifically, who will be the driver tasked with bringing the long-awaited title to the team? Hamilton or Leclerc? When Hamilton made the transition from Mercedes to Ferrari, it was not merely a change of teams but a true revolution in his career. For more than a decade, he had grown accustomed to the methods, technical terminology, and systems of Mercedes, and Ferrari, with its rich history and unique culture, represented an entirely new universe. In January, when Hamilton was officially integrated into the team, he commented on the learning curve ahead of him. "I am really enjoying the car. We are building a bond gradually," the driver stated, alluding to his first days with the new team. Despite being at the peak of his career, this change did not come without challenges. Even though he appreciates driving the car, Hamilton still faces technical issues and internal team dynamics that need adjustment. "Yesterday was a reasonable day, just acceptable. But we fulfilled our entire testing plan. We are experimenting with several things, so I am not promoting adjustments or steering the car toward where I want it to go," he explained. One of the main aspects Hamilton must adjust to is Ferrari's new way of communication. After years of being accustomed to the terminology at Mercedes, he found himself learning new terms, including those related to the car's geometric components, which are given completely different names. According to him, the effect is somewhat different, and the names are distinct, but roll remains roll and the anti-roll bar is still the same. Hamilton's enthusiasm for this new challenge is evident, and he is determined to master this new language. "I spent 12 years elsewhere, where we always discussed the same things. Thus, I had my habits formed. I know exactly what they mean, but every time Ferrari mentions something in a technical meeting, I end up wondering which part of the car they are referring to. It is part of the learning process, and that is precisely what makes it so stimulating," he commented. How does all this reflect on Hamilton's pursuit of his 8th world title? Initial impressions from the pre-season tests in Bahrain indicate that the driver is adapting well to Ferrari, showing that this change is as much about personal growth as it is about performance. There is no doubt that Hamilton's vast experience will be a true asset for the team, especially as Ferrari seeks to challenge the power of McLaren and Red Bull in 2025. However, Hamilton is not the only one standing out. Charles Leclerc has also drawn attention. At the end of the morning session on the third day of testing, Leclerc recorded the fastest time, surpassing the rookie Andrea Kimi Antonelli by only 0.07 seconds. An important achievement for the team in the face of strong competition from Hamilton and the ever-dominant Max Verstappen. Leclerc's performance reaffirmed his talent to those who still doubted his abilities. Amid an exchange of lap times with Antonelli at the beginning of the session, it was Leclerc who secured the top spot by completing a lap in 1 minute, 30.86 seconds. Even the current world champion, who was in a league of his own at Red Bull, could not match Leclerc's pace in Bahrain. Verstappen ended the morning session in 4th position, approximately 0.4 of a second behind the Monegasque driver. Meanwhile, Hamilton's first days with Ferrari were marked by a more cautious approach, focused on developing a closer relationship with engineer Riccardo Adami. The driver acknowledged that adapting to Ferrari's adjustments will take time, but he is clearly enjoying every moment of this experience. The tests, despite the challenges posed by the variable track conditions in Bahrain, show that the team is preparing to be a strong contender in 2025. The car has improved in several areas compared to previous years, and the feedback from Leclerc and Hamilton has been overwhelmingly positive. The overall impression is that Ferrari has taken a significant leap in performance, and, with Hamilton's contribution, appears well prepared to fight for the title. However, as in any team, there are always obstacles to overcome. On the third day of testing, Ferrari encountered issues due to excessive tire degradation, which forced Hamilton to abandon a planned race simulation. The weather conditions were not ideal, and the track evolution was slower than expected. But the team's ability to adapt and gather valuable insights remains a strong point. The engineers are working intensively to resolve these issues, and the contributions from both Hamilton and Leclerc will be decisive for these improvements. A positive aspect is that the drivers are providing extremely valuable feedback to the engineers. It is worth noting that, unlike others, Hamilton, with his vast experience, becomes an important differentiator for Ferrari, especially following the recent modifications made to the steering wheel and pedals to suit his style. It is clear that, starting in Australia, this will be a very productive period for the British driver. Hamilton has been quite transparent about the process of adapting to Ferrari. He is satisfied with the progress made so far, yet remains self-critical. "I feel there is still much to be extracted from the car. I am testing the limits with the new elements of the SF25. Fortunately, I had the opportunity to drive the 2023 and 2024 models, comparing the improvements, the issues that were fixed, and how they were resolved. It has been a lot of information to absorb, but I love delving into these details and uncovering everything. That is exactly what we are doing. We have already built a solid foundation," he stated. Despite the good results in the first 2 days of pre-season testing, the third day presented a different scenario. The team was barely able to conduct the planned tests for reasons that remain unclear. The original plan was for Hamilton to perform a complete race simulation, but this idea was quickly discarded due to extreme tire degradation. Even after attempts to adjust, the problem persisted, leading the driver to spend a long time in the pits. There were speculations that Ferrari might be giving more attention to Leclerc, as he completed a greater number of laps. But considering the treatment Hamilton has been receiving, there is no concrete evidence to support this hypothesis. Ferrari's main focus is undoubtedly to win the Constructors' Championship. McLaren emerges as the biggest threat, boasting a strong pairing formed by Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Although Piastri is still adapting to the car, his development is expected to progress as the season unfolds. Meanwhile, Red Bull is set to field a rookie alongside Verstappen in 2025, which makes it unlikely that they will maintain the same level of dominance seen in 2023. Mercedes might surprise in certain races, but does not appear to be a consistent contender for the title. For Ferrari, the synergy between Leclerc and Hamilton will be essential, as Charles believes that their similar driving styles will help the team reach new heights. When the season begins in Australia, the rivalry between these two drivers will undoubtedly intensify, providing a fierce battle between teammates for Ferrari's glory. What is your opinion? Will Hamilton and Leclerc adapt quickly and fight for the Constructors' title, or will another team take the lead this year? Leave your comment, and if you wish to know more about Sainz's revenge against Ferrari, click on the video appearing on your screen now.